Hello, all. It's Jennifer Henry. I am with Compass Coaching. I own Compass Coaching. I work with the locker room to provide awesome resources and tools for real estate agents, business owners. I am super excited to be here with you all today. It's a little strange that I can't see your faces. I feel like I'm just talking to my computer. So every once in a while, somebody say something just to remind me that you're here, because this is going to be an interactive webinar. However, I do have some material that I want to present to you. And Molly, your awesome broker, gave me this opportunity to present this to you. I've been presenting it to quite a few groups, and I'm perfecting it as I go. And she called me because she's an awesome leader. And she wanted you guys to have lots of resources and lots of inspiration during some transitional times that we're all going through. So we talked about a few classes that I'm going to bring. This is the first one today that I'm going to be sharing with you. This is kind of setting the stage for your mindset. And then everything we're going to be doing after this beyond here is very practical, hands-on. So tomorrow I'm teaching at a class on how a 6-layer social media strategy. So that's more practical, hands-on. But today we're going to really delve into your mindset. Those of you that have been in any kind of coaching with me know that I'm all about interrogating how we think, because how we think will absolutely direct our feelings. Our feelings will automatically direct our actions, and our actions or non-actions will automatically direct the results of our lives. So again, I can't see your faces, and I'm going to assume the answer is no, but this is your chance. Is anyone ready to give up their business because things are tumultuous? Good. I'm assuming all of you want to make your business thrive and survive through this challenging time. And so because of that, we are going to challenge your mindset. It is the only thing you can control right now. And so I want to give you some great tips on how you can show up as a leader in your business during these times. And these tips are some of them practical and some of them mindset related. Nonetheless, I want you to take away what you can, implement what you can. I am going to ask for ahas at the end. So any of you that think that that's the thing I need to cling to right now, then that's what I want you to do. So if you will, make a note, and I'd like to get a couple ahas at the end to share. I'm going to mention one more time, if you want to talk, interrupt me, because I can't see your faces. All right. So I, like you, have had my moments of freak out when this all started going down a week or two ago. It's amazing how quickly things have changed. And I had a couple of days when I was kind of freaking out about it because I wasn't sure, like all the rest of us, how it would impact me. And so what I decided to challenge myself and to self-coach. And so I started started searching for a new thought process that would support a better feeling. And so I came up with this thought that I cling to now, and it has brought me great joy and great relief in the middle of all these uncertain times. So I'm going to share that with you. My thought that I came up with, and I know we've all thought it, but I'm going to put it in my own words, is there has never been a time when I am less alone. And I want to say that for you. There's never been a time during your lives when you've been less alone, less isolated. Yes, we're stuck in our houses. Yes, we are challenged with economic shifts and changes. But humanity as a whole has never been more united on one single theme than at this time in history. So I want you to recognize you are walking through history right now. There will be people that will ask you about this one day. Does somebody have something to say? No? Okay. This is history. How we show up right now is going to go down in the history books. So when I realized that this was an opportunity to shift and to do something new and exciting and different and to really embrace what's happening, I started feeling better about the situation. And so I put a big globe here with a question mark, because no one on this planet, absolutely no one, is immune to this right now. There is not one person, no matter gender, race, age, social economic status, not one single person on this entire beautiful planet is immune from what's happening. This is the first time in my life that we are this united. So I really, really, really want to encourage you to think about that. if you start feeling stressed out about how this is impacting you, I want you to realize that everyone's impacted. So if the worst case scenario happens in your business, in your family, in whatever the case may be, just know that there are millions of people right next to you that are going through the same thing. So none of this is exclusive. This is all of us uniting together. And that is the thought that I'm clinging to during this time. So with that said, I'm going to start a presentation today about 8 tips on how you can create your thoughts and the things that you can do to show up as a leader during these times. Now, leaders do not overreact. Leaders do not underreact. What leaders do is work with what they have. And a lot of times I do this physical demonstration of that mindset because I'm such a futurist, and I know probably a lot of you are. When I can't predict or hold on to the future, I start feeling insecure. So sometimes I'll do this with my hands because it reminds me that all I have is this. This is all I know. And yes, we try to predict and create ideas and plans, but we really aren't guaranteed the future. So let's work with what we have today in our hands. And that's the mindset that we're going to take as leaders. So here's some questions I want you to think about as we launch into this topic. Number 1, what can you do as a leader and a partner to thrive during these times? Number 2, where will you put your focus? Big difference. What you choose to focus on will determine how you're feeling. And then number 3, how and what are you going to work on right now to grow your business while so many people are working remotely? So those are 3 kind of thought-provoking questions that I want to kind of start our day with, our topic here. All right, so we're going to jump into the 8 tips on how to show up as a leader. Tip number 1 is, double down on relationships. Now is the time to go deep on your relationships. I know I'm a coach. I'm all about building new relationships, but right now I'm even stopping that language, and I'm telling you, it isn't necessarily the time to go wide. It's the time to go deep. So who do you need to reconnect with? Who have you forgotten about? Who has forgotten about you? Who have you lost touch with? This is the time. There's never been a better excuse to say, hey, how are you? I haven't talked to you in a long time. A lot of real estate agents that I coach say, well, if I call them, it's going to sound like I'm being, that I'm just trying to rekindle a relationship for business. This is your chance. This is your chance to take that off the table. If there's does somebody have something they want to say? If not, I'm going to ask everybody to go ahead and mute because I'm getting some feedback. So if you guys can all make sure you're on mute, unless you want to talk, and then of course unmute and have at it. All right, so double down on your relationships. Be the energy of gratitude with the people that you're serving. Appreciate them. Let them know you're here for them. This is the time for you to outline all the services that you have that you can provide remotely for people. And come from contribution. Right now, when I say don't go wide, that means you're not looking for new business, you're just taking it deeper. It also means contribute. Right now is the time to contribute, not take. We're not asking for business, we want to give. That is the focus of our current economy right now, is that of giving. If we can all do our part to give, we can make a dramatic difference in the world at large. So never has there been a better time to double down on your relationships. Number 2, look for opportunities. Instead of resisting the good that is in all of this, I want you to really think about where's the opportunity for you in this. There is no such thing as a neutral interaction. With the people that you're touching, you're either adding value and adding energy, or you're taking value and taking energy. There's never a neutral. So in every person that you talk to, I want you to be that person that says, I'm going to add value and positive energy to this interaction, even if that person is scared, confused, or fearful. Be the person that finds the opportunity not only for yourself, but for others. A lot of times in our darkest, scariest times, our true character will show. So this is a chance for your true character, your strong character to show up and really shine. And so I want to talk to you for a second about the opportunities. Now, there's a big difference between being opportunistic and looking for opportunities. Okay, opportunistic, and if it's in a negative, means that you're looking to take advantage of a situation. That's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about here is an opportunity for you to shine. So a little exercise for you right now. I would like for you to think about what you're good at right now. If you've got a pen and paper, I want you to jot down 2 or 3 things. What are you good at? What I mean by that is, what do people say you're good at that? What do you feel most comfortable doing on a regular basis? Something that maybe even is second nature to you. Is it organization? Is it problem solving? Is it communicating, writing, speaking? Is it gratitude? What is it that you excel at? The opportunity today is for you to now take that thing you're good at, whatever it is you're writing down, and figure out a way to purposefully inject that into your business at a high level. This is where humanity needs us all to band together and use our strengths to help one another. And when we all step into our strengths and purposefully share them with others, we now have a collective that's stronger. So the opportunity for you is to really showcase who you are and how you shine. I've seen so many people that have a gift for giving, then this is your time. I see people that have a gift, have a heart for the elderly, this is your time. A heart for children, this is your time. Have a heart for parents, this is your time. There is no one right now that wouldn't be able to receive something that you have to give. So I want you to think about what you're good at, figure out a way to purposefully inject it into your business. That is the opportunity for you to give right now, and trust that when this thing blows over, you will have positioned yourself to be better at what you do and stronger in your relationships. All right, so I'm going to open it up for just a second. Does anybody have any questions or any comments about this before we move on to the next one? Everybody good? I can see you now, so give me thumbs up if everybody's good. All right, awesome. Just checking on my technology too to make sure that you guys can still hear me. Okay, very cool. All right, so we're going to move on to number 3. Lean in versus lean out. Businesses are shutting down, but relationships are opening up. Again, such a unique time in history. You see this thing right here? It does more things than just text. It actually, you could put it to your ear and call. I say that jokingly because I really feel like sometimes we avoid picking up the phone and just calling people randomly, because our world has moved into such a digital world where we can text and message and we never have to talk. But now is a time when I truly believe people will pick up their phones and answer and sit down and actually have a real conversation with your voice, because they're sitting at home, perhaps they've been disconnected from society, and now is the time to pick up a phone and call. So get human again. Do not drift into isolation. Right now is the time to lean in at whatever way you can, even though we are physically isolated. Go where people are, on the social media channels, online. Find out where people are, get there and engage. This is, again, a time for you to interact, engage, share, talk, be human at the highest level, even though we are pulled outside of the human space. All right, number 4, be proactive versus reactive. This is a big one. Leaders do not react to the world at large. They take proactive action. The world needs this kind of leadership and positive energy right now. So are you operating with a herd mentality? Are you falling prey to the news media and to what everybody's saying is going on, or to other people's fears? This is the time for you to step up and be the voice of reason that people need. Yes, right, we don't know what's going to happen. This thing could end very differently than where we stand right now. But the truth is, we don't know. It could also end beautifully. It could also end with humanity being changed forever in a better and positive way. So let's be proactive with who we are and avoid reacting to the herd. So by being proactive, I go back again to what can you do to add value to other people's lives. That's being proactive as opposed to reactive. All right, now I'm going to move on to 5, and I'm going to spend a minute here because this one's my favorite as a coach. This is my favorite one. All right, so, you know, I think you all would agree that if you were to take a container or a plastic bag and fill it all the way full with water, almost overfilled, if it had a hole or a crack or a leak, you would see it because it was all the way full of and it was in pressure. Right now, our businesses, our finances, our families, we are going to be filled to pressure in terms of what's happening in our world. This is the time when you will see the leaks and the cracks in your business and in your relationships too, for that matter. This applies to everything, but I'm referring specifically to your business. If you've got a problem or a weakness in your business, it will come to the light. And this is the time for you to correct it. So if you realize that having a database right now would have been a really easy way for you to get in touch with all of your people instead of having to look up their numbers in 3 different phones and emails, and if now is the time for you to realize, oh, that's a weakness, that's a flaw in my system. So allow these pressured times to reveal where you need to perfect your systems and processes. Button them up, because guess what? Now you have time. I coach a lot of real estate agents, and the overarching excuse about not getting things done on the systems and processes side is time. Well, now you have time. You have taken off the table showing houses for the most part, inspections and closings. Everything's gone virtual, which gives you a lot more free time and gives you a lot more leeway to work on your computer at your desk. So these are things that we need to buckle down and just say, hey, these are things I can work on right now. All right, so I'm going to open it up again for a second, take a look at all your faces. Does anybody, has anybody already experienced a flaw in their system? Has anyone felt, oh, I wish I had had this up and running sooner? Has anybody? Because I know I have. Anybody? I got a chat here. Let's see who our chat's coming from. Oh, somebody says, yes, ma'am. Oh, that's Molly. See?
Oh.
Molly says the same thing. I mean, again, no one's immune from this. Even leaders at the top are like, oh, these are things I should have put in place. Were you going to say something, Cal?
Yeah, my website. I'm like, now online presence is really kind of important, you know? So while I have my, you know, I've been working on the database, I'm like, oh my gosh, so today, this afternoon, I'm like, got to look at the website.
Yep.
You know?
Perfect. So Cal mentioned a website. We've also got, oh, and Melissa says been working on a project she's been pushing off because of time. Absolutely. So we've got websites, we've got social media platforms, we've got mailers and
open houses, virtual open houses.
Absolutely. And you know, now is your time to learn Zoom and learn Facebook Live. We talked about that in our group coaching on Monday, didn't we, Joyce?
Yep.
Now's the time to get in there and figure out how you're going to do that. So again, pressure creates opportunity for you to see where things might not have been working as well as you thought. So make a list of the things you're going to work on. Put yourself on a schedule and start working on these things. I remain available to you to help you if you need ideas or if you feel like you're stuck in some way. Although my systems and processes are definitely not perfect, I have a mind for them. I don't always like to execute them, but I have a mind for them. So I can help you if you get stuck here. Another thing that I want to kind of pause on and talk about right here is your finances. So I got some really, really great advice, very simple advice from a financial planner, and I wanted to share it with you. You may want to take some notes on this. When you are doing an audit of your expenses, if you foresee some financial challenges coming, when you are performing an audit, it's a very simple thing to do, and this is what you should probably be doing right now. Actually, you should do this coronavirus or not, okay? Pull out your last month's full statement from your business and your home or whatever you want to audit. Have 3 highlighters, okay? 3 different colors. You go through and all you're doing right now is you're highlighting the things in 3 different categories. The first thing you're highlighting in one color is things you can cut right now that are easy, that don't hurt. Simple subscriptions, things you're not maybe using. Guys, I did this a few months ago. I was astounded at how much money I was spending on stupid things. And I'm really glad I did this. I did this probably 4 months ago. I went through and audited all of my things and pared my expenses way down. So number one, highlight in one color all the things you can cut that are easy, like subscriptions that you're not using or that don't really benefit your life. You might want to really think about Netflix, though. We might be needing that. Number two, what are the more painful things? The things that cost you, that would be a little bit more painful to cut. These are things that you could eliminate or suspend or extend. Maybe don't eliminate them, but maybe you suspend them or extend them, meaning you pause them and freeze them or something like that. Now, the third one are the most painful things that you would have to cut. This means these are the things you need to be doing your business for to keep these going. These are the last things you cut. I mean, some of them you may not even be able to. Like these are your mortgage and your car payment kind of stuff. So again, categorize your expenses so that when it comes time, if you should have to cut anything, you know exactly where to start. So that's tip number one on finances. And then one more thing I want to tell you about finances, and this again falls under systems and processes. There are 3 things you should not cut. Do not cut anything that benefits your health and your body. Okay, so if you're using it, that's the key. Don't cut it. If it's benefiting your health, if it's something, number 2, that's benefiting your mind. So if you are using something that supports your mental and emotional health, don't cut that right away either. Because especially now more than ever, we need to lean on the things that provide health in our bodies and our minds. The third thing not to cut are anything today, investments that support your future. The caveat to this is that they're providing a return, that they have proven return. I've had a lot of my clients ask me, what does that mean? So we've evaluated a lot of these future expenses by deciding, is this an expense I'm doing right now that is already proven to be a valid future return? If it's not, then you probably want to dig a little deeper into that. I'm happy to walk you through a thought process that can help you decide if it's something you should keep or not. Nonetheless, those are the 3 things to think about or to not cut today. Health and body, mind, and the supporting of your future business. Investments you're making today. And again, I would be thinking about our new world, our digital world, inside of those future expenses that you have today. Any questions about that? Any thoughts?
Question.
Yes.
What do you mean think about digital world? Like specifically?
So if you're spending money today on things that will produce digital leads for you down the road or connect you digitally tomorrow. I anticipate, I mean, I don't know, I don't have a crystal ball either, but I think I anticipate that when this is passed, there will be a lot of companies that are like, wow, we really could do this virtually. You know, I mean, I don't know. I think we're going to want to get back into society, but I think there'll be a lot of people that are going to be like, I can do more of this. And so there'll be more of an online engagement because people have kind of released their technological fears. So we want to be there when they're there. Okay. I have some sellers. Jeff and I had sellers from years ago that we've stayed in touch with all these years. They moved again, and they're well into their 80s, I believe, and they've never ever had Facebook. And so whenever they were keeping up with us, we always had to keep up with them completely independently because they would never see anything that we did on Facebook. We're good friends with them. They just got a Facebook account. And I'm like, wow, there you go. See, there's people that are doing what they have to do to stay connected. So be aware of that's probably coming for the world at large, Cal. Any other questions about your expenses before we move to number 6? All right. Number 6, be the voice, not the echo. This kind of goes back to the herd mentality. So here's where you want to educate people on what they need to know and how you can help them. You have a voice. No one has your voice. Yes, you may be one of 10,000 real estate agents in Florida or in NEFAR, and I don't even know about St. Augustine for it. But you may be the one of 10,000, but no one is you. And no one delivers information like you do. And no one has your specific flavor of information. So don't stop sharing Tell people, help people know what they need to know. Molly is excellent at this. I don't know. I love the stuff she's put together. She is resourceful and she is a connector. So there's a person right there using her strengths for the benefit of others. And that's exactly what I'm talking about, is find information that people need and get it to them. Anything that Molly's giving you, I think you can trust is good, solid information. Take it and repurpose it and use it inside of your worlds so that you can educate people using your voice. Don't panic and make knee-jerk reactions, okay? So this is the opportunity, again, to be a voice and to be stable. This is a time to be an authority inside of what you're good at. So don't just get drowned out with everyone's opinions. Really stand apart. Have your voice, speak your truths, and be sure you're not echoing that of others. All right, number 7. Be resourceful. I love this little caption. I had to put it in here because I thought it was so cute. You're stuck on an island. Maybe the wood you're using to create the help sign could be your boat. So listen, this is the time when you need to look at your own resources. What do you have at your fingertips that you may not even know you have or you've forgotten you have that you can share with the world at large? So this is a great way, again, to provide resources, not only for yourself, but to your people, to your tribe, the people that are depending on you. So again, I referenced Molly's resources. She's been giving you guys a ton of great stuff. Watch these videos that she's sending to you. Put them in your own words and do your own videos with nuggets from what you're gathering. This presentation today is a collection of a lot of things I've been hearing that I put together. So use the resources at hand and then share those out with other people, okay? Don't be the person who's freaking out. Be the person who says, here's what you find, what you need. And then, of course, surround yourself with resourceful people. And I know all of you are in a good place because you are all resourceful people and you have a resourceful leader. So surround yourself with people who are forward thinking and solution based so that your tribe can support your resourcefulness and you can find what your tribe has that you can offer to other people as well. Any questions about resourcefulness? All right. Number 8. This one's a big one for me. Again, I'm a coach. I see greatness in others when they don't see it in themselves. So this one is really easy for me to speak to. And this is the last one. And it's really, really, really important. Don't play small. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your technological savvy level is. I don't care how many real estate deals you've done. Don't play small right now. This is a time to be brave and to look to the future and ask yourself, what will I wished I had done 3 months from now? What will I wished I had done today? In 1 year, will you look back with regret at the time that you spent hunkered down in coronavirus time? Or will you be proud of what you took a stand for? Will you be proud of the advances you made in your business, in your systems, in your processes, in your finances? Will you be proud that you decided to take your health seriously and to spend time with your family? Who are the people around you right now that you can have an impact on and be proud of yourself for leaning on while everyone else might have been in resistance mode? And then I also want to challenge you here. Will you look back and recognize that you used this very valuable time that we've been given to do something you always wanted to do, like write a book or start a podcast or start a garden? I don't care, it doesn't have to be business related, but will you wish you could get this time back? So I just want to challenge you to remember that this is, again, a very unique opportunity in history for you to not only slow down and get quiet, but to do the things that you've been wanting to do that could propel you in the future. You know, I'm going to tell you guys on a very personal level, I don't think I'm above any of this. I've had my freak out moments and I still continue to wake up in the morning and have to adjust my thinking sometimes. But I'm going to tell you that it was in July of 2018 that I got diagnosed with cancer. Most of you know this. My life has been in crisis mode ever since, if I'm being totally honest. If not in my health and in my relationships or my finances, the adjustment to my life has been a constant crisis. So I believe that I'm able to step into this current crisis that we're experiencing stronger because of the crisis that I've already walked through. And I know a lot of you can relate to what I'm saying right now. Cancer prepared me for this. And I don't want to say that I want cancer or anybody else to have it, but I will tell you these times of adversity prepare us for bigger and greater things in our lives. We do not get to bigger and greater until we go through these things. And again, this is extreme. I get it. And yet, what's on the other side of this for you? Something big, something great. You get to decide today how you adjust to it today. So don't play small. Think big, dream big, and act big. The next piece that I want to share with you is just, while we're thinking big and we're thinking future, I also want you to realize that you just need to do the next 24 hours well. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Yes, every day looks like something different. And if we compare ourselves to China and Italy and Spain, yeah, we could kind of go a little crazy, but we can't do that. What we can do is decide that this 24 hours I've been given, because I woke up this morning, is a gift. And so now how am I going to do the next 24 hours well? And then tomorrow you get up and do the same thing again. You remind yourself of these 8 tips and you do them in that day well. Forget about what you do and don't know. It doesn't matter, and it never did matter, by the way. The fact that we don't have any control over the future is no different than before this happened. So we're just more aware of it now. Viruses were always there. Economic shutdowns were always a possibility. So all I'm asking you to do, and what I really want to challenge you to do, is just focus on how do I do what I've been given today well. And then last, I'm going to leave you with this awesome quote that said, "We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope." We have all experienced disappointments. I know all of us have. I know I have. I've had several things cancel. I've had a lot of hard work undone. I know you have too. But don't lose infinite hope. There are better things coming for all of us if we keep our heads about us and we stay focused on the positive and on what we can do each individually to make a difference in our world. So again, I am thankful to present to you today from the locker room. This is material that I've shared with them. They've shared with us. We've collectively put this together. We are in your office at ReMax Leading Edge. We are honored to be part of you, to bring you inspiration and bring you education. And if any of you want access to virtual training that don't have it already, Molly has purchased the locker room for you to be getting in and doing all kinds of virtual training. It's all there and it always was there. So I want to encourage you to use those resources that you have available to you online to get in and start watching videos and taking advantage of this awesome time that you guys have. And then more than anything, just thanking you for the opportunity you guys have given me to present to you today. So with that said, I would like to open it up to you and ask you your thoughts about what we've talked about today, where your head's at, what your ahas are, and what you want to share with the group. So take yourself off mute. Whoever wants to speak first, just have at it.
One thing I do want to ask, like right now, I'm literally in the middle of negotiating. I've had a listing for a while. We've had several offers. He had a really good offer at the very beginning, and didn't take it because it was 3 days on the market, and he felt really confident he would get full asking. And he only gave me 90 days to sell it. He was like, I'll get full asking, or I don't even want to sell it. Yeah, that's what I was dealing with. Now he's kind of changed his tune, and he extended his contract past the 90-day mark. And now we're to the point where, I mean, he's going to take a significant cut. And I'm sure a lot of people will be doing that. And I just don't know if I should feel good about letting him do that. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know what the market's going to bring, but I know him personally, and we were kind of making jokes like, hey, we'll still be friends if in 3 weeks the market's still fine, or in, 4 months the market's still fine and you could have gotten more. But on the flip side, he hasn't had a really good offer ever since. He's gotten a lot lower offers. He's had multiple, but they've all been lower. but this will be the lowest. And it's because of coronavirus that he's, you know.
Well, what does he want?
I think he's scared, and I think he thinks he needs to sell it because he's definitely of the mindset that potentially, you know, like apocalyptic kind of mindset, very, very negative mindset. And I'm like, Mark, you know, I mean, we haven't even gone into a lockdown here in Florida. You know, I went under contract with 2 buyers in the past week, you know what I mean? So since like we're past 2 weeks, I've had 2 new buyers. So I'm like, people are still buying. I'm telling them all the positive. I mean, he's looking at dropping from his original starting price $30,000.
Well, ultimately, Karen, it's his money and his decision. And it sounds to me like you've given him all of his information that to use. All you are is the bearer of information, and then it's up to him to make the decision that's right. So, I mean, to answer your question, I don't think you should feel bad about the decision that he makes. He wanted to sell his house. You did that. Does anyone else disagree with me? I'm certainly not the authority on this.
I didn't know if anybody else had already encountered that where people were dropping their price, you know, 10, 15 grand, you know, off listing. I mean, I've seen a couple of people, you know, dropping prices pretty quickly, but I don't know. I just don't really feel all that great about it.
Well, again, you know, your job is to sell the house. He knows the risk. He knows the pros. He knows the cons. It's his decision.
Can I ask something?
Yeah.
Is he dropping the list price, or this is an offer he's taking?
It's an offer he's taking. Or considering taking.
Did he try countering? And
we've countered back and forth. Like it's been over the past week that it keeps kind of like, this is my final number, and then the buyer goes away for 2 days, and then they come back with like a little bit higher, and then this is my final number, you know. So
are the other terms good?
I'm sorry?
What are the other terms favorable to your seller?
It's a conventional loan, and it'll be as is contract.
Yeah.
So
a bird in the hand is better than 2 in the bush.
That's
right.
Take the money and run.
Yeah. Especially if
he's literally he's making cash. Like, I mean, he built it himself. So he'll pocket a big chunk of cash. I mean,
is this the cute little cottage?
The cabin, yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough one too. I mean, I would say bird in the hand is better than 2 in the bush.
Right. Like he'll walk with a lot of money. So, but
if he's comfortable with that, then I think tie it up.
Well, and I think I always like to say to people, don't borrow guilt.
Right.
Don't borrow it. If he's not giving it to you, don't go borrow it. You know what I mean? If this is what he wants, facilitate it, do your best, move on.
Don't eat it.
Right.
Okay.
Awesome.
Not eat his sandwich.
So, all right. So anybody else? Any ahas or any thoughts?
Hey, Jennifer, this is Debbie Craggs. Can you hear me?
Yes, I
Okay,
can.
everybody. You know, one of the things that we have to, you know, when somebody has an offer in hand right now, the market is so much, there's going to be a lot of changing and a lot of flux. It's probably going to happen over, you know, 4 or 5 months. And what can happen is, if they don't take the offer they have right now, they could end up chasing it. Either, you know, the market would go downward, or, you know, it probably is going to take 6 months or more till things start going better again. I don't know. I mean, I just feel like if somebody has a good offer in hand, that they ought to seriously consider that that's what it is today. And, you know, the future is totally unknown. The only thing you can know is what it is today.
And I would also ask for a pre-qualification letter and an interest, you know, that they are happy with the interest rate because they're fluctuating so much.
Right.
And then, you know, stay on top of that lender so that, you know, or have Jesse stay on top of that lender so that you know that they're going to get locked at a certain rate and that this doesn't drag you on.
Right.
Great advice.
Yeah.
Good advice for all of us, right?
Well, and I think Debbie's talking from the experience we all had at the last downturn. This one may or may not be similar, but a lot of people chased it down.
Yeah.
A lot of people just didn't want to take that one, and then it went lower and lower and lower, and they were chasing it down. And for those that aren't looking in the chat, Melissa had a good one too.
Yep. Melissa, do you want to say what you were going to say? You want to unmute? There you go.
Can you hear me? I don't
Yep.
know. Oh, you mean with the seller part?
Yeah, both of the things you had in there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I've had that experience too with a seller not taking, because, they're the first offer, because I've heard that sometimes the first offer will be your best offer.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're in a pinch to sell it, and, you got to do what you got to do. I just remind my seller, what is your ultimate goal? Why did you want to sell in the first place? We got an offer. Are you happy with it? What are you going to take home? Can you live off of that? Is that what you wanted? And just kind of refocus what their intention was in the first place of selling.
Yeah, that's good. I was getting ready yesterday or Monday when we were in group coaching. I asked, anytime you talk to a seller, ask them, what is your motivation level, 0 to 10?
Yeah.
If you're a 10, they're going to do what it takes. If they're a 5, it may not be worth your time. That offer may get halfway through and they're going to change their mind. So if they still have a high level of motivation, they'll do what it takes.
Yeah.
I use myself as an example. I have a high level of motivation to sell my house. I'm going to keep it on the market. I'm going to sanitize it when people come through. I'm going to do what I got to do. So everybody has to just weigh that level of motivation. And then Melissa also put on here, her aha was holding on to hope and being open-minded about what the future could bring from this experience. That sounds like you, Melissa. I love that. Thank you. All right. Any other ahas from our content today? Something you're going to take away and implement?
Mine is, well, I'm like highlighting all of them. There's a lot. Point one was just to go deep with the people I know and to be a giver and a contributor, because, and just getting over the fear of it feeling like opportunistic. I truly care about people. So that, and really leaning into that, just like humanity, the other thing is to really be on a schedule and to really dig into systems and protocol and learning the things that I need to learn, because things will hit the ground running when this lifts. And so really just being mindful about that. And yeah, a lot of ideas kind of like running through my head. So I'm like getting back to that. I think my biggest takeaway is just do the next 24 hours well.
Yeah.
Because that's all we got. And just, I think I'm going to put that on my bathroom mirror. But I also, because all these ideas are spinning, because it's such a time of innovation, I know I'm going to struggle with focus. Because I was on a really good path of focus. Now it's like, now the sky's the limit. Oh my gosh, I could like do this online or this and this. And for like a few days now, I've had like anxiety over that. Cause I'm like, what do I focus on? So I'm going to need you, Coach Jen.
Okay, I'm here for it.
Yeah, big time.
There are a lot of options, guys. That's why I asked you, what are you good at? What is that thing you excel at? Whatever it is, focus on that. You can't do all the things, but you can do 1 or 2 things really well. And Cal, we had this conversation. And I know what I told you.
I know, but then it's like getting into the perfectionism. Like I had a plan, and then I went down then it becomes a rabbit hole, like a rabbit trail of how far can you take it before it becomes like a whole other job.
Yeah.
So that's where I need the focus of and accountability and put myself on a schedule,
Well, the schedule will be the key to keeping us all sane. In fact, I really think that as long as humanity produces, and I know we're all women here, right? So as long as we produce, if we're doing our work well, it'll give us a sense of excited focus. So get on a schedule, stay focused, stay productive. Yes, give yourself a day to lay on the couch and watch Netflix. Not every day, we still have work to do. The world depends on us. You are all high-powered movers and shakers. I know all of you. The world needs you. And the schedule is where it starts. So thank you for sharing that, Cal, and being vulnerable to share that with us.
Yeah.
And by the way, the whole 24 hours thing, I just want to say it one more time. We never had more than 24 hours. It was an illusion. We're just aware of it now.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so back to that. All right, anybody else? One other person? Share something with me?
So it's Molly.
Hi, Molly.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, Cool. So I would say my big takeaway is, hold on, I wrote it down and then I just put it away. My big one, when on systems and procedures, like we are really, I'm trying to focus deeply on this for our company, and seeing how much we're getting done working from home and how much Jesse's getting done and how much we're cleaning some stuff up in the back house. And then also reallocating monies that we were spending in places that we weren't seeing any return, and saying how, especially now, and seeing so many comments too, like I know Karen and Cal Lou is on there and Jennifer Cook, like seeing all these really amazing resources that we have, especially Megaphone, how we can reallocate resources to be pulling more things in, and how we can be serving people better with the resources that we have, and just cleaning that up a lot in the back house digitally, because I do feel that when this is over, people are going to be used to this, and kind of nice. Like I've heard so many people say I'm so much more productive at home, and a lot of our friends who own their own companies out there, you know, who have people working from home, are saying, you know, it costs them less. They're doing more with less, and their employees are still getting all the work done. So I think that this digital side of it is going to be really, really important moving into the next, like, you know, 6 months, 12 months, especially in our business, because, you know, everybody's doing virtual tours. They still want to go see the house, but I think this is going to really move us into a space where we really need to step into that digital presence, and people are just going to be used to it, and they're going to want to see it more. So just the reallocation of our resources and creating systems around that to making sure that we're serving people as best that we can. So, yeah.
Thank you. I know you're working tirelessly, Molly. Even though you were sick, you're working through it. And
I didn't work while I was sick. I slept for 2 weeks, so well, I had a lot to catch up on.
You were still there, still chugging through. You might think you slept, but I talked to you quite a bit. So I know that you were putting things together and working behind the scenes. So, and I'm sure your agents appreciate that. I know that's a lot of hard work. Yeah. And she's right. You know, the other thing to consider, y'all, is that while some people may be on pause right now for buying and selling, that demand will get pent up. And as soon as we get free to be humans out in the world at large again, everyone's going to come back on the scene. Where will you be? Get a schedule. Stay in touch. Keep your momentum going with your plans. Don't decide to go, you know, put a pillow over your head or, you know, lay on the couch and watch Netflix. Again, not every day, okay? Maybe once or twice a week, like a normal day off. But keep your focus. Stay surrounded by these awesome people that I know are here to support you, even if they're not there tangibly with you. Mm-hmm. Anybody else before we close out here today? Molly, did you have anything you wanted to add beyond that?
No, not really. I mean, I think I'm so impressed how much is actually still going on right now, and how much feedback we're getting on, like, people are still showing, people are still wanting to buy. I am really thankful and that everybody is embracing, like, all of the procedures that we've put in place for listings and for showing and the health screenings, because you know, again, it shows that we're really, really professional and treating this seriously, but it's just protecting everybody. It's just protecting everybody. And I don't know, I'm just really impressed with all the work that everybody's still doing and the momentum everybody still has through all of this, even though it's uncertain. I'm just really impressed by it all.
Yeah, me too. I went to a BNI meeting this morning right here at my desk. There were 49 businesses on Zoom, and each one of them reported how they pivoted their business to adjust to this. And I would say the majority of them felt more positive about their business than negative. And all of them had a plan. They all shared their plan. They shared how they're pivoting, what they're doing, how they're going to plan to recover. Like 49 people. And by the way, this whole thing only kind of went down like 2 weeks ago. So just how quickly humans can adapt and how quickly we can change on a dime. So kudos to us for being positive, and we're in a fantastic industry that is necessary and essential now and always will be. So stay positive. For my game changers that are in my groups, you know you have homework. And I am still working on putting together a little mini group to do that little extra session I told you about. So hang with me while I'm getting my schedule worked out for next week. But I'm here for you guys. Molly, thank you for giving me the floor, so to speak.
Thank you.
And then tomorrow, I'm going to be back at 10 o'clock in the morning doing a class on 6-layer social media strategy. And so if you want to join on how to take videos or how to take a video and what you can do with it creatively, come on board, and we're going to be doing that at 10 o'clock tomorrow. All right?
Thank
Are
you.
you going to record that one again too and put it on the Facebook page afterwards?
Molly, is that what you want to do?
Sure, that'd be great. And then also, guys, with Corel and doing the professional videography, we're still planning that. She was in Morocco, so she's self-isolating right now as well. So as soon as she